Every single time you tap agree on an app or a website, you're handing over a little piece of your digital life. But have you ever really stopped to think about what happens next? How does a company actually keep its promise to protect all that information? Well, it's not just one person or a single piece of software. It's a whole system called Privacy Program Management. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly how it works. I mean, just think about it for a second. Every single app on your phone, every website you browse, even the smart speaker in your living room, they're all collecting data. So how does a massive company coordinate hundreds of different teams and projects to keep all of that information safe? Well, it's not magic. It's actually a really carefully designed system. So let's break down that system. Just like any strong building, it all starts with a blueprint. Before a company can even think about protecting data, it needs to lay a solid foundation. And that starts with a few key concepts. First up, let's zoom in on program management. Now, this isn't about just one single thing, right? It's not like just installing a firewall and calling it a day. This is the big picture view. It's about coordinating all the different privacy projects, from legal reviews to software updates, to make sure they're all humming along together, working in the same direction instead of, bumping into each other. Okay, so a program needs structure to actually work, and that's where the framework comes in. If you think of program management as the overall game plan, the framework is kind of like the skeleton. It's the set of policies and rules that gives the whole thing its shape and stops it from falling apart when things get complicated. And the last piece of this puzzle is the life cycle. And this one is so important because it reminds us that privacy isn't something you just set and forget. It's this living, breathing thing, a continuous loop of actions that a company has to keep doing day in and day out for as long as it has your data. So we've got the backbone, the framework. But what's the actual plan? Well, think of this next part as the sheet music for the entire orchestra. It's what guides the performance. This privacy life cycle is broken down into 4 really clear phases: assess, protect, sustain, and respond. This is the roadmap that pretty much every effective privacy program follows. So let's dive into each one. All right, everything kicks off with phase 1, assess. This is like a checkup for the company's data practices. They take a really hard, honest look at what they're doing and compare it to the law and best practices to find any gaps or weak spots, before they turn into huge problems. Okay, so once you know where the problems are, you've got to fix them, right? And that's where phase 2, protect, comes in. This is where the real work of building the defenses happens. Implementing security, baking privacy into how products are designed, and just actively safeguarding all that data they're holding. But hey, building a fortress is one thing, you have to actually maintain it. And that's what brings us to phase 3, sustain. This is the day in, day out work that keeps the whole program running. We're talking continuous monitoring, regular audits, and constant communication to make privacy just business as usual. It's just how things are done. And last but not least, we have phase 4, respond. Because let's be real, no system is perfect. You absolutely have to plan for when things go wrong. This means having a rock-solid plan for security incidents for sure, but it also means responding to you, the individual. This phase makes sure there are clear ways for people to exercise their rights, like asking to see their data or get it corrected. Okay, so we have the sheet music, those 4 phases. But who's leading this whole performance? Who's making sure every musician is playing their part? Well, that would be the conductor. So the privacy program manager, their job is super strategic. We're not just talking about ticking boxes on a compliance form here. They have to line up the entire privacy effort with the company's bigger business goals. Hunt down risks, and this part is absolutely critical. Their job is to raise the data IQ of the entire organization. That means making sure everyone, from the folks in marketing all the way to the engineers, really understands how to handle data the right way. So, what does that big picture strategy actually look like on a Tuesday morning? Well, they do things like conduct privacy impact assessments, we call them PIAs, which are basically a risk check before a new product ever sees the light of day. They also push for privacy by design, which is this really cool idea of building privacy into a product from the get-go, not just slapping it on at the end. They also have to navigate the super tricky world of international data transfers and keep an eye on the numbers to prove the program is actually working. But here's the thing, no matter how good the conductor is, they can't play every single instrument. Privacy is absolutely not a one-person show. It's a company-wide orchestra. And if you remember one thing from this explainer, let it be this. The manager might be the conductor, waving the baton, but they need a full orchestra behind them. Real data protection takes everyone from every single corner of the company doing their part. So who's actually in this orchestra? Let's meet the musicians. You've got the learning and development team, who create all the training so employees know what to do. The communications team, they're the ones writing the privacy policies you actually see. Of course, you have information security, who are deploying all the technical shields like encryption and something called DLP, that's data loss prevention. And then there's the IT team, embedding all of this right into the company's core systems. And believe it or not, the orchestra is even bigger than that. You've got internal audit, who act like a quality check, making sure everything is actually working the way it's supposed to. The procurement team is so important. They make sure that any outside vendors the company uses are also playing by the rules. HR, of course, handles all that sensitive employee data. And then you have the legal, risk, and data governance teams, who provide all the expert advice to navigate this super complex world of regulations. You know, this quote from Russell Densmore really just nails it. Protecting personal data cannot be the exclusive job of the privacy officer, any more than playing a symphony is the exclusive responsibility of the conductor. It truly takes everyone with all their different talents, all working together to make it happen. Okay, so we've talked about the what and the who, but that leaves one last really important question. Why? I mean, why go through all this effort? The answer is about way more than just following the law. It's about earning the applause. And the payoff for doing all this work? It's huge. Yeah, sure, it keeps you on the right side of the law and helps prevent those crazy expensive data breaches, but the real value here is building public trust. Think about it. In today's world, great privacy can be a huge competitive advantage. It could be the one thing that makes a customer choose you over someone else. So it's not just about avoiding fines, it's about earning loyalty. So, that leaves us with one final thought to take with you. The next time you give your information to a company, just ask yourself, are they conducting a full-on privacy symphony where every single part is working in perfect harmony? Or are they just kind of playing out of tune and hoping nobody notices? The answer really does make all the difference. Thanks for watching.